Yeah, hi, welcome. Let's take a look at, let's continue on the theme of the buying process. In other words, customers are in control of the buying process and some of the things around that. And this particular sales idea is called integrity and transparency. So I'm talking about transparency. Transparency goes a long way. There you go. And I believe in this absolutely, because I think if the customer's in control, then being transparent is totally what you need to do. Let me give you a little story here. A little while ago, I was down in Cheltenham where I live, and they've got this food market, sort of foodie market, it's like a continental food market. And I was popping along, having seen what's going on. German sausages and all sorts of things. And there was this French bread stall, which I found quite intriguing. And I love bread. I love French bread as well. The French just seem to know how to make bread better than any other nation. And I went to this store and there was these beautiful balls of bread. And the smell was lovely, and the ambiance was lovely as well, and the prices were quite lovely too, quite steep, because they bought it across that morning from the Channel Tunnel probably. And of course it wasn't France, it was a corner of Cheltenham, in a foreign field in Cheltenham at the end of the day. Anyway, I ordered 2 loaves of boule de campagne, I think that's how it's pronounced as well. And the lady came along, put it in the bag, said, of course you can, so would you like a bag? And her English was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Not a hint of a French accent. And she tried really hard to speak perfect English. You could tell she was doing that. And hats off to her for doing that. And the transaction just kind of lost its appeal at that point. It didn't seem authentic or real anymore to me. She tried to talk in English. I wanted a heavy French accent. I wanted a heavy sort of Parisian accent or Vendean accent to add to the glossy prices that she was charging me for the bread. And that's the point, you see. I felt it was not integrity. It was not real. You see, you can always tell when a salesperson's putting on a show. Some salespeople just are trying too hard. They're not being authentic. They're putting too much gloss on it as well, and you can tell it a mile off. And you've got to stop that. You just got to be yourself. Get straight to the point, straight to who you are. Don't try and hide anything. I think that's really important. You see, customers now demand a number of things. They demand honesty, and I think that's absolutely spot on. Salespeople have a bad rap, particularly financial services salespeople. Usually on the younger generation, been brought up with banks mis-selling. You've got to be absolutely honest with everything you do. I'm sure you would be as well. You've got to have integrity. Work hard to build your integrity. Get a brand, get a reputation. It's going to take a while to build that once you've got it yourself. And then be authentic. Just be yourself, authentic. You don't have to put the double-breasted suit on with the double cuffs, with the nice fancy silk tie and the big flash car. You don't need that anymore. That's from the 1980s and the 1990s style of financial services salespeople. I remember I was one of them, and that's what I used to do. It's just awful when you look back at it now. Just be yourself. Get rid of any fronts, any acts, and that's all you need to be doing. So just be yourself really is the key to that one. There you go. And the bread, well, I enjoyed it very much. It did taste rather lovely. Of course, every slice was the same price as a litre of fuel, I think, at the end of the day. It would have tasted even better if she'd had this thick Gaulois Parisian accent. Monsieur, this is your bread. It would have just made me feel happy about paying the price that I paid for the bread. So that's been useful to you. Bye.